Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. We're going to see if, I mean, I would imagine Jpeg wants some revenge from the loss last time.
Yeah, I think he would, man. And Kosticka's going to go here on AZK. He's going to be trying to get some of that damage going as well. And we see a scatter into a Hex right onto Kosticka, which is a really nice start. Vertex is going to be feared off, and it looks like they just want to start on Kurm. Kurm's going to throw down the AoE Sacrifice, but he gets feared on that. So you know, a pretty nice little start. They got the AoE Sacrifice. They got the Trinket from Kurm there as well. A Hodge now is going to come out from Kurm. It's going to be trinketed by Jpeg, who's getting fully dotted up here by Vertex. And Chrysalid, you know, just doing a good job keeping his team topped off. And both teams kind of like going to town a little bit on the pets.
Yeah, ACK and Jpeg actually managed to kill the first pet of Vertex. So he's going to have to fell them already. And that might be pretty big if they manage to kill another pet with his Bloodlust.
Yeah, it definitely would be really big, man. They need to get something done with it. It's such an important part of the game. We can see Jpeg coming in there for the Shadow Fury Halitair. He's very low, though, down to about 40% HP. He's going to have to be careful here. Kurm was MCS off that Fear. He did throw out the Bob, but the Bob has been removed. Vertex is just spamming Health Funnel right now on his pet, trying to keep it alive. The Crab pet is quite low there as well, so Chrysalid's going to have to make sure he does not let that fall, because that can be absolutely huge, as we've seen in the previous match.
Yeah, Kosticka actually managed to finish Jpeg's pet off, but he was just able to portal back and use hard summon a new pet, so he's not going to have to use his Spelldom just yet. And there's the Fear coming onto Jpeg, which instantly gets devoured, so not much you see coming up from the team of Vertex. There's a full spell coming onto Vertex as well, so his damage is going to be completely shut down for the moment.
Yeah, it definitely is. You can see him going for the Searing Pains now. He's out of that lockout, trying to health funnel his pet up. They just have to be careful. Kurm is going to get feared once again, but he is going to be devoured very quickly there by Vertex, so nice job by him. This game is so much more stacked than the previous ones. You know, Kurm is getting CC'd a lot, and he's going to get feared. There was a trap put down there as well. It's going to be eaten by Vertex, but he has no Devour for it. It has to be cleansed by Kurm's, and it is. Jpeg, though, at 40% HP. Chrysalid is going to get charged on that heal. AZK is quite low as well. Needs to get some mana back in that aspect of Viper, and he does hop into it. But things are looking a little bit rough here right now for Jpeg. I feel like he has to get out of there because he's down to 30% HP. He's going to get reflected on that Immolate and Feared at the same time. Catches the big NS from Chrysalid, but AZK is rotting quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I feel like Jpeg and ACK definitely need to care more about the precision. I mean, I think there was like at least 3 or 4 shockwaves in a row which actually hit Jpeg, his pet, and ACK at the same time, and that's going to be a big deal. And this Jpeg's pet died, and he's portaling back trying to get another pet, and it doesn't seem like he would get it here, so having to fell them now. So Fellon's being done for Jpeg, and Kosticka is going to go straight onto that pet, already down to 50%, so we might see a second pet killer right away.
Yeah, and it's actually so low, so they have to be careful. They cannot let this pet die that fast. It would just probably be the end of the game, honestly. Chrysalid's taking a bit of damage there as well. He's at 60%. Jpeg's at 50%. His pet is being pressured pretty heavily here, and Jpeg is in a lot of trouble at 10% HP. Nas to port out of there. He does have the Earth Shield, but I mean, he's so low he can't really even tap. He's going to get reflected on that Fear, unfortunately. He throws out the Death Coil onto Vertex, but it will be dispelled as there's no UA covering it right now. So, you know, things are starting to go pretty bad here for Chrysalid's team. We do see the Shadow Fear coming in. The Halitaria is thrown out after that. They're trying to go for a burst kill on this pet, it looks like, and they may be able to kill Vertex's pet, but it does catch a big heal there from Kurm. Vertex, though, at the same time is down to 40% HP, so Kurm going to pop that AoE Sacrifice.
Yeah, Chrysalid got into full howl, having to trinket that, and Kosticka is going to try to do so much damage to that pet, and there's the charge concussion blow onto Chrysalid, so I think the second pet of Jpeg might actually die through a health funnel. Doesn't seem like it will die though, and Chrysalid can be able to spam those heals onto the pet, getting shield bash. I think that actually hit him. Yeah, seems like it did.
Full trap there on Kurm, but once again is removed. They haven't really had much luck with the Devourers getting the Hunter's Mark. Everyone has been removed so far, and Kosticka once again is just trying to kill that pet. Chrysalid, though, taking a ton of damage hit by him behind the pillar, and he's actually going to have to Hellstone just to Kosticka, and Jpeg will get topped off now, but he is going to be under quite a bit of pressure here. Chrysalid, though, is just doing fantastically with the mana. Even though there's been so much pressure on his team, look at his mana. It's still so high. And Kosticka getting bursted pretty low. They're going to actually be forced to shield wall.
Yeah, he actually walled 4% health, so he could have easily gone down there. But I think Kosticka is doing a good job just bouncing around and keeping the pressure up on so many targets. And you look at Jpeg's team, they're all at about 50%. ACK actually down to 29%. 100 turns the damage right now.
Yeah, he does. I feel like at this point, man, you need to just kind of port as soon as they even come to you. If they look at you, port. Yeah, good job by Jpeg. You need to give Chrysalid some time to get you topped off because he's just way too low. He can't be out there in the middle. He's at 20% HP. He's going for a banish on the pet. I don't think it landed for some reason. It did get resisted or something. A Soul Drain comes in, but I don't think that's a real Soul Drain. He's going to have to trinket that stun. He gets the freedom from the Hunter as well, but he's at 15% HP. Going to catch a heal there from Crystal, but Crystal gets shield bashed on the next one. He's put into a fear. It looks like that one's stuck full, and Jpeg just has nothing left. He is in the coil. 20% HP, 14% HP. Pops the Battlemaster, 24% HP. Crystal is into a full conk blow, though, and Jpeg does pour it out of there, but he just still has nothing. And I mean, Crystal, it might die. Jpeg could die here, too. A Shadow Fury does come in, but is not enough. And a couple seconds of time where there's not damage going out to top them off.
Yeah, and I feel like if Crystal would manage to top his team off that game, they could have actually beaten them, because Kurum actually had to use his trinket and wall just a minute before they won the game, and there's lots coming up for Crystal already. They're trying to get a trap onto Kurum, and I think he actually managed to land that AoE sack before the trap landed, so good job by Kurum there.
Yeah, it looks like he did. There was a CS miss there on Jpeg, though, and Jpeg is going to be able to do some damage here. He does get the silencing throw on him from the Warrior, but he's going to try to get damage rolling here. There's a CS on Vertex, but unfortunately Jpeg not able to get any damage out just yet with this Lust, and now he's able to fake the interrupt, going to be able to go hard onto Vertex here. Is he going to be able to get advantage? There's a fear onto Kurum. Will it be devoured? It looks like it won't, and he's going to have to trinket that. Big damage coming in out here on Vertex, but Kurum's able to top him off here pretty easily.
Yeah, and Kosticka is constantly making those swaps to the pet and he's trying to keep killing those pets, and it's essentially just if two pets die from Jpeg, then it's gonna be game over pretty fast.
Yep, you definitely will, man. So they're gonna have to be careful. And Jpeg down to 40% HP already. Vertex is a target still from this team, but they're just not really getting the swaps that they need. I feel like they need to just kind of wait and get a Sacred Shield on the wrong target, and then get a CC on Kurum and swap with a Banish, something like that. The Banish does come in. Chaos Bolt's going to come in as well. Vertex getting spiked down pretty low here at 40% HP. Going to have to catch a sacrifice from Kurum, and Kurum's going to be feared off, so Vertex could be in some trouble. He ported, but he only ported about a foot, and now he's going to have to Battlemaster and Hellstone. Bop is going to come out there as well, but it's purged immediately. Still down to 30% HP. Only a couple seconds remaining on that Battlemaster before it times out, and Kurum is forced to bubble.
Yeah, Kosticka doing his best to peel the damage, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough, and a lot of cooldowns forced on Kurum's team. And Kurum is actually put into a full trap. There's no trash debuff now, so we might see a Devour, and there comes in Devour, and Kurum's going to be out of that trap, so Vertex seems not going to be in too much trouble. Kosticka going straight onto the back of Jpeg, doing so much damage. Just like an AoE shocker that hits Crystal as well, so good multi-CCing from Kosticka.
Yeah, definitely really good multi-CCing, but now we're starting to see this Hunter Warlock team fall behind a bit, and Crystal is really kind of struggling to keep up with this damage as the dots start to get out. We can see he's at full mana completely, but he just gets interrupted, and there's so much damage that he just can't heal through it. And he's trying to go for those heals now, and he's trying to land them out, but I mean, AZK at 40%, Jpeg is in a bad spot at 50%. He's feared across the map, getting fully dotted up. The pet's going to get banished, and I think they're going to swap him hard, and he's just in the worst possible spot, and I think he might just get killed here. He's conklowed. He catches the NS because Crystal knew he was in big trouble. A really good early NS there by Crystal is probably all that kept him alive, and the second pet from Jpeg is getting just absolutely slaughtered. It does fall, and he does not have Beldon for so long, so they are just in a world of trouble.
Yeah, definitely are, and this is a hard map for him to get a resummon on, so they're gonna have to get a kill really fast, or they're just gonna fall behind and lose. I mean, Crystal's mana is still very high, but I don't think you can out-heal the damage on Jpeg.
Yeah, I mean, he's at full mana, but it doesn't matter, man. Jpeg is going to get, pop the Hellstone and the Battlemaster, but he's at 40% HP. Crystal's at 30% HP. Coil does come out there as well, but Jpeg just has nothing left into the Conk Blow at 20% HP. I just don't think that Crystal really can keep him up for long enough until he can get a pet. It's just going to be so hard. Kosticka is taking some damage there. Perhaps a good port and something. Jpeg can maybe port and try to run all the way across the map and get something out, but Vertex at this point is just going to be able to dot everyone. And that's really all he needs to do is just kind of free dot at this point because there is no CS available.
Yeah, Vertex has been doing a pretty good job of keeping dots up on 3 targets this game, but they're kind of falling off right now. But I guess all he really has to do now is just focus. Make sure that full dots are up on Jpeg all the time and then start multi-dotting.
Yeah, definitely. And Jpeg is at 38% HP. He's just taking so much damage. Chris is doing an amazing job keeping him alive, but I think this is going to be the end. He's down to 7% HP, catches another heal at such low HP, but there is a charge on a Chrysalid. If they have anything to CC Chrysalid, it definitely will be the end. But so far, Jpeg has stayed alive somehow, some way. AZK now, though, is being pressured hard. Chrysalid is going to be stuck in that fear. The Tremor Totem was killed, and he's stuck in that full Warrior Fear. AZK at 30% HP, Jpeg at 60% HP. We can see that AZK is just in so much trouble. He's going to have to deterrence or do something. He's at 10%. He's just rotting to those dots back behind the pillar. Jpeg is going to run way back, and I think he can actually get his pet summon out here, perhaps. But we'll have to see. Looks like no, he's not going to be able to. Now he's going to get silenced back in the room, and Chrysalid's desperately trying to get back there and help him out. Kosticka's kind of put himself in an awkward position though, and Kosticka is going to get dipped down to about 60%.
Yeah,
But at the
I
same time,
agree. You know, they can just kind of swap constantly, and we'll see how it's going to turn out here. Will he be Affliction? Coex does come out, so he is indeed Affliction. If there's the UA, he's going to try to get spread pressure going here, but he will be charged over too. He's going to get into that shockwave. The first UA was already reflected, and Jpeg taking a ton of damage. And we have to remember, he does not have nether protection, so he's going to be taking a lot of pressure here. Big Halotera coming out though on Kurum and Vertex, so he will be able to get some free dots up for now. And unfortunately, I'm not sure how effective it's going to be because so far this has been really, really frustrating game for Jpeg. You know, just with that Prot Warrior on you, it's tough to really get anything going.
Yeah, and there's just what we talked about. Jpeg jumping down and Kosticka instantly going to go on ACK, but ACK actually jumped down as well. And there was a disarm going to ACK for increased damage, but it seems like he's going to swap over to the pen, and the pest might actually just go down right here. And Jpeg doing the best he can to health funnel, getting spells on the health funnel. The pet's surely going to go down, and we're going to see a portal up from Jpeg here to get a resummon, I guess. But then Crystal is going to be in so much trouble. There's a port up, but I would assume they're going for ACK Crystal here. And Kurum actually getting feared up top. Jpeg jumping down at 50% here. It's only 30%. There's the NS coming out from Crystal to keep Jpeg alive. And did he actually follow him the pet up there?
Yeah, I think he did, man. Felon's on cooldown. I think he just felt he had to get right back into the match. And Chrysalid is going to have to pour up his trinket. Everyone on this team has used their trinket. Kosticka still has his available. Big UA crit, I think, onto Kurum as he did dispel that. He's put down to about half HP, but a crit flash of light is going to top himself right back up. And Jpeg, although I'd like to swap to Affliction, so far he has not been able to really make use of it. He's just not able to get those dots going very often because Kosticka is just doing such a great job interrupting him.
Yeah, I mean, Kosticka is constantly charging and intercepting AoE reflecting, and as you said, the second pet of Jpeg is going to go down, and Kosticka doesn't have a charge on Insta right now, so he's just going to back off for that freedom, wait for that charge or Insta to get back up, and Jpeg's going to try to resummon here, and he might actually get that. Vertex is into a fear, I think, and yeah, Jpeg's not going to get the pet summon. Kosticka charging on the Crystal, and he's going to get right back on Jpeg here.
Yeah, you got CS by Vertex there at the end, so this is going to get pretty rough here for Jpeg. He needs to port up top and try to get it, but Vertex is going to port right back up with him, and Vertex might be able to finish him off here. He does get feared, he's at 20% HP. The real Soldiering comes in, but it is feared off there by Jpeg, and Kosticka is going to be able to have time to get back up top with him, so this is going to be rough. I feel like, you know, Jpeg is going to have to run really to the opposite corner of the map if he wants to be able to try to get this pet summon off, and he will go for it here, but Chrysalid might just die in the meantime. Chrysalid at 40% HP is putting out Alitair. Who are they going to go for? And Jpeg did get out his pet. Chrysalid doing a good job of surviving in the meantime, but he is put into that DR Hodge. He's taking so much damage, fully dotted up, 10% HP, 3% HP, and he will die, and this series will go to Vertex, Kurum, and Kosticka.